Hey guys, what's up? This is the Demon Corpse, and today we'll be talking about will the Growlanser series ever get a re-release on modern platforms? And the answer is probably not. And I highly doubt it because it's owned by Atlas. The games are owned by Atlas, and there's 6 games in the series, and the last one was Growlanser 4 for the PSP back in 2012, and that was I think 2012 or 2011, but I may be off on that. But but originally it was released back in like 2000, and I think 2004 or 5, or maybe 6 on the PS2. And there's different versions of that game that we never got that were only released out, were only released in Japan because all the games were released in Japan. We only got 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's all we got. We never got the first one, and we still have never gotten the first one. The first one was only released on, well, it was released on PS1 and PSP. The PSP is just a remaster, and you could technically say Growlancer 4 was a remaster, you could say, for the PSP, but I mean, you look at gameplay from the original versions and the new version, there's not much of a difference, except maybe they've added some extra stuff, but that's literally it. But I mean, it would sell. I think it would sell pretty well, but Growlance is really niche. It's a very niche series. Like most people don't even know what the series is, and it's very niche. He'll say that. I mean, between, like, well, I can't do that type of, but let's just say that between Shin Megami Tensei and Growlancer, let's just say Growlancer isn't as popular as Shin Megami Tensei. Shin Megami Tensei is a little more popular now just because of Shin Megami Tensei 5, but that's literally it. I mean, they've become more popular as Shin Megami Tensei, but Growlancer is that series you hear about, but you don't really check it out as a whole. But it is the successor to Langrazor, and we did get a remaster of Langrazor 1 and 2, and was a pretty shocking release, I would say, because I never would have expected Langrazor, like, those 2 games to get a remaster. I mean, they look like mobile ports, but I mean, they're probably not bad games. I'm not saying they aren't, but you know how they looked with technically not remasters, but it's a remake. I don't know what to call it, but it's like you could say it's like a pixel-ish. I don't know. You could probably give a better explanation on the Langrazor 1 and 2 remasters on the Switch, because they don't look like the old ones from the originals on the Sega Saturn. And was these on Sega Genesis? I think Sega Saturn. I don't remember Sega. I think there was one release on Sega Genesis, I believe, but it was called something else. I can't think what it was called, but I mean, we never really got those games either, and there's like I think 6 as well. So the people who make these games like ending with 6, and that's probably a good area to end. That you could say 6 games and done, like Star Wars. There's only 6. There is no 7, 8, and 9. I don't know what you're talking about with those, but if you get what I mean. But I would expect if it did get a re-release, Growlancer 1 through 6, it would be by LRG, and no doubt about it. It would be by them, and I mean, the only other person I could think of that could do it would be Project Retro Games. I have talked about before, and I did ask them like I think a week ago, if he would ever do like a reproduction of Growlancer 1, including 6, or even all of them, because we never got them, and he said he will check it out, and that's literally, you can talk to him, he's a chill dude. I do need to get his games. It's just, I bought some other stuff that I wanted to grab too, so I mean, you know, it's like anything, it's like you want those games, but then there's other games you want to check out too. So I mean, but the reproductions, and they're really good. I mean, don't be like thinking, oh, it's a reproduction. Ugh. No, it's actually, he puts in like the actual effort. Like he does like a whole thing. They look really nice. I've seen pictures and even like people doing unboxings, and they look like actual PS1 and PS2 games you would buy straight from the store, with everything, except it would show like Project Retro Games logo to tell people, hey, this is a reproduction, this is the actual official release. And as I've seen, he only does games that we never got, and some games that were announced to come out but they never were released. And I know he's done like Resident Evil demos, that like the Resident Evil 1.5, and I guess that's like a beta version of the original Resident Evil, or Resident Evil 2, I believe. I have to check those games out at some point to see what they're about, but they're not complete games as a whole, you could say. They're just, you know, like a demo of like what Resident Evil, whichever one or two was supposed to be before they changed something in it. But still, though, chances are you never know. I mean, we've seen crazier stuff get re-releases that we never expected to get re-releases. So, I mean, it could happen. I mean, we could see a re-release of Growlanser maybe in the next couple of years from now, but I highly doubt it. And thank goodness the sixth one got an English translation. I know the first one, I actually did some more info, went through more stuff to see if there was an actual translation for the first game on PS1, and there is, but only with disc 1. Disc 2, there's a script, and that's literally it. So you use the script to play the game. I mean, it's stupid. I mean, if you want to go that far to play the second disc, because the first Growlanser has 2 discs. I guess the game was too big to put on 1 disc. And you know, you have to look back and forth to play. I mean, you know, with the script, it's like, come on. Like, not everyone's gonna do that, except maybe a few people that dedicate enough time to do it. And I'm just saying, that's just a little too much, even for me to be like, oh, I want to play. I do want to play the first one, but I'll just wait and see what they do. Someone's working on trying to get disc 2 translated, no doubt about it. It's happening. I mean, shit, we got this AI translation. I mean, like, it should be much easier, I'm guessing, with AI technology to translate games. I mean, like someone's using AI technology to translate some of these games that have never been translated. Like, come on, like, someone has to be doing it. I'm guessing, but I mean, you never know, though. That's the thing. But still, though, let's hope for the best. Anything could happen in literally years from now, or even like next tomorrow. You never know. Something could happen. Voila, there's a translation for disc 2, and then it starts to show up on pirating sites. Be like, hey, you can finally play this game in full English, 100% translated. I mean, it could happen. Let's just hope for the best and see what happens. But that is about all. Like, share, and subscribe. And have you ever played the Growlanser games? I played a little bit of the fourth one, but I didn't really get that far because that game was tough. I will agree with people, that game is tough. That's a really tough game to play through, and I will be playing through it at some point, a complete walkthrough. It's just, right now, there's other games. As usual, I want to check out first before I play those games, and I mean, they're not in order, so I mean, you don't need to play the games in order. Some people may think you do, but you don't. But how I do things, I like just doing it in order, just to make my time easier and make my brain a little more chillax when I'm doing stuff, instead of freaking out like, oh crap, I played this one first, dang, or I played this one third, and dang it, you know, that type of vibe. It's just how I do things. But that's really about all. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you, scavengers.